Good call on his part, I think. He's got the shuttle out. Oh, he's also probably going to go for, you know, I don't remember. I think there's some island expansions on this map. I don't recall at the moment for some reason. But he's loading up a probe there. At the very least, he's going to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are island expansions on this map, actually. Stork here going into more macro mode here. He's getting a Stargate out, actually. That's interesting. Wow, that's a really early Stargate for Stork. He doesn't even have a Reaver out, and he's actually getting a Stargate. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to do with that Stargate. He could, I guess, theoretically be going for carriers right off the bat. He does have an economic advantage right now, but I don't know if it's that significant of an economic advantage he can afford to go carriers at the moment. Wow. But, yeah, that's... we'll see what he does there. Shuttle going out... I thought I saw him load it with a probe earlier, but maybe he's offloaded that probe, and he's got a Reaver in it now. So he is going in for his usual harass. Flash is usually pretty good at setting up for countering Reaver harasses. So he does have some tanks around. We'll see how he deals with it here. Shuttle going in there, flying above those tanks. The tanks are going to... He drops a couple Zealots out, and the Reaver. Tanks targeting the Reaver, though. Shuttle's chasing those tanks around. He's going to be able to kill off a couple tanks with those Reavers, and he's actually going to be able to save the Zealot too. So wow, that was very well done by Stork. Stork has distinctly demonstrated his symbolic ownership of Flash's person in that instance, and we see him falling back there, having only lost one Zealot and taking out a couple tanks. So that was pretty good, and he is going for carriers. Wow. One of these days, I want to see a Protoss player do that, and then have the Terran comms at them, and it turns out that they're actually going for Corsairs with Disruption Web to de-web the turrets or something like that. So Flash coming in here with a little bit of a Vulture harass, and he's actually going to take out a lot of probes. For some reason, Stork running his probes back in there, and he's actually bringing back his Reaver there to try and take care of those, freaking vultures. I don't know why I couldn't think of them. And Flash put that pylon out on the south of his base he's going to see that barracks coming in, so he's going to be able to do something to stop that barracks from seeing his carriers coming in if he wants to. He is a little bit occupied, though. We do see he still has that one Marine remaining from the beginning of the game, and he's going to be able to use that to kind of hold off that shuttle a little bit from just completely harassing him. That engineer is going to go down. He's landed. Wow. He's figured it was too slow to send in just the barracks, and so he actually landed the barracks, made a Marine to go in and scout that. He's going to scout those carriers coming in. Stork using that ridge very, very well to his advantage, holding back this little push, and it doesn't seem like he's lost any Dragoons even. He does have his first carrier out there, so that's going to be bad news for Flash. Scarab goes off, hitting right in between those two tanks. If he can hit with another Scarab, then that'll be in. Oh man, the Reaver drops out, and the tanks had a shot on, and they were able to take out that Reaver. But in the meantime, Stork's still pushing in here. It looks like this is going to be kind of a wash. Oh my gosh, a ton of mines go off. Almost all of Stork's Dragoons going down. He's actually going to pull those into his shuttle and retreat. Wow. Fortunately for Stork, he'd killed off most of Flash's army already, and some of Flash's army got taken up by those mines as well. But that was absolutely devastating, not having those observers there. He went for that observatory, for the robotic support bay, and in exchange, he didn't have the observatory out. He didn't have observers to spot those mines, although, yeah, there was just too many mines around. He was microwing around and picking off some of the mines, but it wasn't doing enough good. And see, this is kind of part of this map. There's these weird ramps and backdoors and stuff. Stork has a couple carriers out. He's actually sending them out as on the road to harass. He does have an observer in the front of Flash's base. He's got to know that these are coming, but for some reason he doesn't have Goliaths out yet. And so Stork is actually just going to be able to waltz in here and kind of pick off this turret here with these carriers, and probably do some damage to his economy as well. Okay, we do see Goliaths coming out now, and so this is a very good map for carriers. There's a lot of ridges and things to hide behind and go across, and we see Flash actually has a bunch of vultures there. He's moving in, and yeah, so we see here Flash is not going to be able to do very much damage to those carriers because of that little ridge. He can just camp them outside and attack and fall back and attack and fall back. And we see Stork looks like he's setting up. Oh, Reaver's coming in as well, taking out a couple SCVs, and those carriers have pushed Stork back into his base, so he has nothing to try and stop this little harassment on his expansion there. Things looking extremely bad for Flash at this point. He's really needs to kind of pick up the pace here. Stork doing a very good job of using those Reavers in conjunction with the carriers. And Flash really needs to attack those carriers. He needs to target them. It doesn't look like he has Charon boosters, so he doesn't have the range to really attack those carriers directly. I think Stork's getting a little bit too close with those carriers, though. He's depending too much on that, and he's trying to pick off those Goliaths, but really Flash is just too far economically behind right now, especially since now he's going to lose that expansion there. Stork pinning him into his own base with those carriers. He's getting him too close, and those carriers are actually getting hit by the Goliaths, but now he's got 4 carriers in there, and Flash is really playing in a manner similar to Feces in his targeting of those carriers. He's not doing a very good job of that, and his Goliaths are just getting picked off slowly and steadily. Wow. I mean, man, Flash just realizes that he's too pinned in, and GG's. I gotta say that his playing, I have to give him some credit. He was very distracted by the fact that his brain was not receiving enough oxygen, caused by the obstruction of air and getting to his lungs by way of his esophagus being blocked by certain reproductive members of Stork's anatomy. But nonetheless, he just definitely kind of got outplayed there. And wow, that was very well done by Stork in all accounts. That game was definitely akin to anal penetration. So I'm looking forward to Stork continuing to force his penis into Flash's oral cavity next week.